Hello all, a really warm welcome to our Affari world. We're really pleased to invite you in today to support our friends at Fujitsu with their charity partnership this year, Autistica. I'd like to introduce Craig Hall, Head of Corporate Charity Partnerships at Fujitsu. Craig, could you explain what's behind the collaboration with Autistica?
Yeah, sure. So we have a 2-year partnership with a main charity. So we focus all our efforts for all Fujitsu employees across the whole of the UK. The main points are usually either volunteering, fundraising, but ultimately a pro bono project as well. So utilising Fujitsu's core skills and expertise to really transform the charity and leave a lasting legacy for them as well.
What was the main driver behind choosing Autistica?
So this is a selection process that we go through. So we send out to any charity. This year we capped it at 2 million annual turnover, so focusing on a smaller charity rather than the bigger ones that we've worked with in the past. And we asked them to submit an expression of interest form, basically saying why they'd like to work with Fujitsu. And then the core areas are, say, volunteering, fundraising and that pro bono project. We go through a shortlisting process, doing some scoring against each of the criterias, and then it goes to the employee vote ultimately. So the Fujitsu employees are the ones that make that final decision of who they want to work with.
So on the employee engagement for Fujitsu staff, how far into the partnership is it so far?
Huge. So 12 months. So we're up to 12 months now. But this, for me, I mean, I've worked on the 3 partnerships now, but the engagement levels have been through the roof. There's been such a connection with employees, whether they've got family members that are affected themselves, and it's just seemed to resonate across the business, which has been fantastic for me personally as well, to raise that awareness. So it's great.
So it's some way into the partnership. Sounds like it's going really well. The engagement levels are there. Thinking about the overall objectives for Fujitsu and Autistica for the partnership, what would be some of the ideal outcomes come the end of the partnership?
I guess just meeting somebody in the street and being able to have a conversation, and actually they know who Autistica are. They're such a small charity in comparison to the Macmillans and Action for Children that we've worked with before. So for me, it is that awareness level and people understanding who they are and the fantastic research that they do. And us being able to leave a lasting legacy with the pro bono project as well. So
brilliant. So, why is Affari supporting the Fujitsu and Autistica collaboration? The answer to that is simple. The star of today's show is my nephew Ronnie. And he's joined by my sister Jodie, Ronnie's mum. Ronnie was born with autism, or you didn't find out until...
No, we didn't find out till Ronnie was diagnosed when he was 3. But before that he had severe speech and language delay. So he's only just started talking when he was 4 years of age actually.
So, is that been one of the biggest challenges?
Speech and language, definitely. Yeah, we had speech and language
therapy.
Speech and language therapy. They come in through the NHS, but it was only once every term. So we also went through private speaking language as well.
But it seems to be doing well.
It's doing really, really well. Yes. You're doing well, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's come on so much.
And what support have you had from school and health service?
From school, up until this year, he was having 15 minutes every day, one-on-one with Mrs. Turner, weren't you? And because they're aware of his diagnosis, school are really good with them, really good.
So, Ronnie's 6.
Yeah.
7 next.
Yeah.
But day to day, I guess it's still challenges, and they'll continue to be. But
Yeah.
what are the main ones, and what I hope you see that they're improving for you?
Well, he's also been diagnosed with sensory processing disorder. So Ronnie, even at nearly 7 years of age, he still likes to put a lot of things in his mouth, which obviously is very dangerous. So Mummy and Daddy got you a chew buddy, didn't we? That you put around your neck, and you chew that, don't you? Whenever you feel like you're going to put something in your mouth, you chew your chew buddy, don't you? Also, anything metal or anything like that, you lick, don't you? So he still licks a lot of things as well, which for an average nearly 7-year-old, you know, that's not something that you'd normally see. And this is where the stares and stuff, comments come in as well. And it's just as his mum, every day is a fighting battle for parents, I think, as well.
Yeah.
It's that. Do you feel it's just that lack of awareness?
Absolutely,
It's lack of
yeah.
awareness people
Yeah.
don't feel.
Before Ronnie, when he was around 2.5 and he weren't even saying a word, and I had a few people say, "Oh, he's a boy, he's lazy, he's got 2 older siblings, they talk for him," and I'm his mum, I know something weren't right.
I think for me as well, it's that awareness, isn't it? You know, I mean, if you look back at when I was at school, and like you say, the kind of, it was just the naughty child, and you know, then they're kind of pushed away, and the, you know, some of the stories that I've heard about, it was, oh, you'll grow out of it, or you know, it'll change as you get older, and you just kind of, and again, that's where the support networks aren't there, because you're just kind of left to sort of go off on your own devices and sort of, you know.
Well, he got his diagnosis, and that was it. You know, he's actually been discharged from the paediatrician, but we're due to go. I've had another referral back because Ronnie doesn't sleep.
No.
He doesn't know what sleep is due to him. So we're going back on the 23rd of this month for some melatonin to help him sleep.
Right.
So that's the next.
3 more days before Christmas.
That's right. So that's the next step. So hopefully we'll all get a good night's sleep.
So, what kind of things keep you awake at night, worrying about his future and thinking about things of him entering the workplace?
I just want him to be accepted into normal everyday life. Obviously, Ronnie sees the world very differently to us. Even we can be in the supermarket and Ronnie shows his happiness so differently. You know, other kids' excitement compared to Ronnie's. Ronnie will do something called stimming. So he jumps up and down, he twists his arm round, and we do get a lot of stares and stuff, and I don't want that to carry on into the future. But I hope by then, the world is just a lot more, what's the word? Accepting,
I
yeah.
can say peaceful.
With his routine and stuff, everything's military.
Yeah.
He's got no awareness of danger. I still have to hold his hand, and you know, he would still run into the road in a car park. He would run straight in front of another car. He's got no sense of danger at all. So as we've come here today, when I've just said everything's military and routine, we had to, when we told you about it, didn't we? Well, over a week ago.
What?
That was coming to Uncle Craig's workplace, and then I've had to remind him every single day. So we couldn't have just got up this morning and said, oh, we're going to Uncle Craig's. He has to know where he's going. So if any day we're doing something differently, I have to pre-warn him.
So are they kind of some of the things that are like to do the work with autism?
Yeah, so that's what we're doing with regards to the pro bono project is we're developing a citizen science project where sensory overload issues can be highlighted on this platform. So like you're saying, as a routine. So for example, you know, you're going down to London today. If you were to come into Euston Station today, it's completely different than it was 6 months ago. So again, if you were to kind of go down there and experience this, you know, it would be quite a challenge for you. So the platform we're developing is having that ability to kind of go in and highlight the things that have changed, whether it be, you know, places like Euston Station and the community coming in, and then that will grow from, you know, over time. So it's a really exciting project for us to get involved with, and the research side of it as well can then look at patterns of why these types of sensory overload issues can then cause anxiety and things like that.
That's exactly what it is. It is anxiety with the sensory overload. Yeah.
Which, coming back to talking about what the organisation spoke about today, is that again, those kind of things outside of a workplace prepare such as Ronnie for being able to cope and contribute to the workplace.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just simple adjustments as well. There's you know, a lot of the things, you know, like lighting, sounds, things like that, you know, these changes can be made.
Sounds are massive.
Massive.
So when he has his lunch at dinner time at school, it was too loud for you, wasn't it, darling? The table he was on. So he's actually been moved to the other side of the hall where it's not so busy, not so noisy.
Why do you mean like I was on the sandwich table?
But now you're on the dietary table where it's quiet, aren't you?
You mean what, table 6?
Table 6, yes. Yes.
But again, just simple things like that are just simple adjustments that can be made, which make a massive impact to his day-to-day life, and he can just continue, doing the things that he enjoys doing. And whereas if people aren't made aware, then you just kind of go about your business, and then, like you were saying, then people don't kind of take that on board, and there's a naughty child over there or something like that, and there's that stigma around it. The stigma around it.
Yeah.
So, with the likes of Fujitsu, Autistica, Trent University, companies like Affari, raising awareness for this all gives us all united hope that it is going to be easier and more accepting,
and give people a better understanding of autism as well. Definitely, because I think people are very uneducated about it.
What do you think about charities such as Autistica and how they can?
I think it's really good, because as I was saying to you earlier, Craig, there's no help out there for parents at all. There's no support network or anything.
Everywhere's different, the different areas of the country, the diagnosis can be earlier. The earlier that you can get it in, the more, you can kind of put measures in place to kind of support that. So, but it is so different across the piece that it's very hit and miss really with cancer research and Alzheimer's. Everything's there, you receive a diagnosis and you've got that full support network everywhere to turn to, whereas there just isn't that as well. And the schools as well, it can be very challenging depending on where you are. And
it's funding as well. I did try and fight for one-on-one with Ronnie, but the school, they wouldn't fund it.
No.
So, but he did get his 15 minutes every day, and that helped a lot, so we're grateful for that. But there definitely needs to be more support, and obviously that's what you guys are doing.
Well, I mean, obviously Jodie's my sister, and being Ronnie's uncle, I mean, the difference seeing him, and I think just being here today, which is one of the things we're trying to achieve, is giving further confidence. And for me as an employer, and obviously a supplier to Fujitsu, it's important we support the causes, but more than that we do have people that want to join us and be employed by us, and do have further challenges than some other people will have. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to offer them opportunity.
No. We were talking about, so I do a lot of stuff as well with the Prince's Trust CV and interview workshops, and the majority of the time the kind of first thing you teach people is body language, is eye contact, and going for an interview, that was the first, you shake the person's hand and introduce yourself, whereas actually that is one of the biggest challenges. And so trying to change, I guess, the stigma and people's approach to doing interviews is something that we've been working with Autistica about as well, and sticking to basic rules, having agenda, timescales, using things like Skype for business as well. So actually they potentially don't have to come into the office to do that initial interview, sending out questions to kind of so they can go and prepare them and not sort of being put on the spot.
And Autistica help?
Yes, it's something that we developed as part of the Fujitsu World Tour, So we're trying to send that out to our suppliers and customers to try and get them to change their approach as well, and some of them already have done. Network Rail are really good at it as well. So,
because we another party that Fujitsu and Affari have in common in Nottingham Trent University. I've been fortunate enough to be asked to be on an enterprise board for Trent Uni, and having been at Trent as an undergrad as well, we worked a lot on what were the soft skills. So how do you present yourself? How do you communicate? And that's important because employees do want those things. But that's even more important where Autistic could come in and help people like Ronnie and prepare them for the workplace, I suppose, and hook up with the education establishments. We spoke a lot about the support and what the organisations who we've discussed today are they're helping raise the awareness. And that seems to be one of the main things really is raising awareness to offer support to people who haven't been diagnosed, so they're not misjudged. And Ronnie was 3-4 years old when he was diagnosed.
But I had to fight for the diagnosis.
What signs and symptoms led you?
Well, obviously we went to to see the health visitor for just a normal checkup when he was 2.5, and there was no speech still. So she made the referral to the paediatrician, but prior to that, there was no eye contact. I mean, his eye contact has got a lot better now, but there was no eye contact, even down to he used to love cookies as a toddler. If there weren't enough chopped chip on the top of each cookie, he would have a meltdown. So when you used to have your biscuits, darling, and the chopped chips there used to have to be so many on each one. Also, even obviously he's been diagnosed with dyspraxia as well, so his fine and gross motor skills aren't up to the scratch of, say, an average 6 or 7 year old.
We've highlighted this as one of the key things to raise awareness.
Yeah.
People not be misjudged and they could be undiagnosed at this point. And is that what Jodie said? Is that
Yeah. It's the differences across the UK, and diagnosis not being early enough and not having the support networks around. So the research that Autistica does is fantastic, really, and likewise it's just, I guess, changing the stigma and getting that acceptance for across the UK and across the world, really. I think there's certainly last year with I'm a Celebrity with Anne Hegarty going on there as well. It's people in the public eye, I think, is how to kind of get it at the forefront as well, rather than it being pushed down like with other, like, say, cancer researchers and things like that previously. So
yeah, when Ronnie was a baby, as long as he was fed, bathed, changed, he weren't really bothered about cuddles or playing as such. Me and my husband used to walk in the room and there was no happiness to see mum and dad. And obviously, with me being a mum to the older two, I knew something was off, something just it weren't right. There was.
Did I not really care about you, your dad, when I was a baby?
Oh, of course you did, darling. Of course you did.
I just wasn't really that happy.
Yeah, he didn't smile either. He never used to smile in photos.
Smiling today.
Oh, he's smiling
today. We want to do a big smile into the camera now. Massive. Big one.
I'm doing a smile.
So the key thing we keep saying is about awareness today, and we want to do that, and hopefully we've come some way and done that today, and certainly having Ronnie with us has. But we want this to go further. So we're going to do a little quiz and invite the viewers of the video and the campaign to take part, and Affari will donate some funds to Autistica to help keep spreading this message. So Ronnie, you're gonna introduce the quiz for us?
Yes. Hello, please can I complete this quiz for Autistica?
Good boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was good.
Better than Uncle Craig.
one take.
Final thing to say is thank you for viewing the video. I hope you can get behind the campaign and helping us support Fujitsu and Autistica. It's been great to have Craig today from Fujitsu, thank you, and Jodie, my sister, and of course our superstar Ronnie.
Yay!
Please do the quiz, which has been immaculately introduced by Ronnie. What we hope to do in the new year is have a trip down to London with Ronnie and visit autistic officers and present a cheque for them, which they can use to continue their great work in 2020. Thank you.